Well, she's about all cleaned up. We got basically all the parts I think I need, so I'm going to start putting some of the stuff back together. Got my new O-rings on this little baby. Next thing I'm going to do is the cylinder head temperature sensor and the knock sensor, just to get those out of the way, and then we'll probably do the spark plugs. So here we go. Well, that was quick and easy. Just one 10mm bolt down here. Plug actually still even has the Christmas tree clips on it for the new one. And this one is a 3/4 inch deep socket, and it even indexed properly when it tightened up. So that's a good sign. All right, so I think next I'm going to do the plugs. All right, so all the plugs are done. Driver's side, couple a little worse than the passenger side, but they all have some crap on them, but no oil. So that's good. I checked, the valve cover gaskets on this truck are not leaking. And so I have a set, but I am not going to change them because I don't care that much, and I don't think it's going to start leaking that much in the next couple of years I'm going to be driving it. So, see what we're going to do next. Alright, so next, since we have it off and have access to it, we're going to do the old idle air control valve. We got our new one here with the new gasket. So it looks like a couple of maybe 8mm screws, and there we go. Alright, she's off, and for what it's worth, it's really not terribly dirty, so I don't think cleaning it would have made a whole hell of a lot of difference. She's pretty well set up right now, but we're gonna put the new one on, and that's done. So now we're moving. Got most of the replacement parts on. Now it's time to start doing some gaskets on that silly intake manifold. One of the other gaskets I have is this one here for the throttle body to the spacer, and might as well just put that on, clean it up, since I've taken that off and on a half a dozen times over the years to clean it, mess around with it. So I'm going to do that too. Alright, so that's done. And now we're going to split this top piece away from this bottom piece, clean everything, and start changing some of these gaskets. Right now, the piece for this is in the freezer because it's going to be a hell of an interference getting that in there. It's pretty good size, so I'm going to try to freeze it as cold as I can. Then I'm going to heat this up a bit. We're going to try to push that in. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it because it's a little weird and you can't really get on it too easy, but we're going to try. So there it is. This is a hell of a thing. Alright, well that answers that question. You can see all that goo down there. And I now know where my oil's going. It's in the intake. Which tells me that my PCV valve may be bad. But that's good, because I thought I was starting to lose the rings. But I don't think I am. So that's very cool. But now I got to clean all this crap out of here and scrape all of this stuff, and you can see a lot of the fuzzy buildup in there. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Just going to really clean this up good, and we're going to go from there. But that's interesting, because that's really good. I'm happy with that. Cool. All right, so we got the new pipe in, got both new hoses on. The quick disconnects work. Got one of the hoses connected, got that stupid pipe bolted to the back of the head, and we're close. But I am really struggling with that press fit pipe. I got some dry ice, and we're trying, but it's really having none of it. So And I have an arbor press, but I don't know how the hell I would set something up to be able to squarely press that piece in, given that you can't get around the back of it, and that it's got a 90-degree bloody bend in it. I don't know. I may end up threading this and just ramming a pipe nipple in that thing with a 90 on it and doing that, which is probably going to be the easiest thing to do. I'm going to give this one, maybe 2 more shots with the dry ice, and then I'm going to take some dimensions and probably go, and I think I have some half NPT thread taps, and that's probably what we're going to do, because I'm not going to ruin this thing. I don't want to take the fuel lines off this, and it is what it is. But yeah, I really don't know how the hell you push that thing in with the 90 on top of it, because if you push on the 90, you'll bend it. And it is serious interference fit here. I mean, serious interference. But we're going to give it another shot. Well, I can't say I'm terribly proud of that hack, but I think it's going to hold, and I don't think it's going to leak. And I'm not going to break anything trying to ram that damn thing into that hole. So, got my new pipe tap kit, so now I can pretty much tap whatever I want. And that's that. And I think we are just about at the point of trying to set this thing back on the engine. So, slowly coming back. Now we're going to start putting the coils back in, starting with old number 4, I think it is, the rear one on the passenger side, because that's the worst one to access. Once I get that and that injector hooked up, then I'll put the heater hose back on, my new stub, and carry on. And I did see some oil in the PCV on the back of the intake, the one that goes over the passenger side, but that's easy enough to change once I get this back together, so I'm not going to worry about that, but I am going to put a new PCV valve on that side eventually. Well, all the coils and the injectors are in and plugged in. Fuel lines are hooked back up. Everything's going pretty smoothly so far. I'm going to save the thermostat for last so I can fill the engine block from there before I do that, just to get some water in it. I think I'm going to put the guess I'll put the alternator back on. That'll be next. And she's running. I think I got everything hooked up. It's not showing any codes. Seems to be idling basically smooth. Sounds pretty good to me. I did have one massive fuel leak because one of the fuel lines, I guess I hadn't pushed it in good enough. It blew off, doused everything with gasoline, but that seems to be contained. So good. I've only put water in it at this point because I'm going to just let it run through, and why waste $30 worth of antifreeze if there's a leak. If it's good, then I'm going to flush it again, just drain it, throw some antifreeze in it, we'll be good to go. And so far so good. So hopefully my plumbing works, and we can keep some water in it, and we'll be back to driving this instead of the big dog. Alright, well, I appreciate y'all watching. If you got any questions, throw them down there in the comments. I try to keep up the comments as quickly as I can. Appreciate y'all. Take care.